This is the Impressions Xchange podcast.
Impressions Xchange podcast,
where all topics impacting the graphic imaging and printing industry are addressed via in-depth news coverage, analysis, and timely interviews. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Impressions Xchange podcast. I'm Ashley Roberts, managing editor of the Printing and Packaging Group at NAPCO Media. Today, I will be joined by Gabe Hernandez, President and CEO of Florida Graphics Alliance. We talk about the upcoming Printing United Expo, which is heading to Las Vegas October 19th to the 21st. This year, there will be a Latin American Pavilion where attendees can find Latin American suppliers and can enjoy Spanish-speaking technology tours and education. Gabe fills us in on what the Latin American community can expect at this year's Expo. Gabe, thank you so much for joining me on today's episode.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So for our audience members who aren't familiar with you yet, can you just kind of give us a little background on you and then your involvement with the Printing United Expo?
Sure, thanks. Yeah, my name is Gabe Hernandez. I run the Florida Graphics Alliance, which is the printing association for the state of Florida. We also have members. We have members throughout the state, and we also have members in the Caribbean. I've worked very closely with Printing United for several years in helping to attract the Latin community to the show. I've worked very closely with an organization called Latin Graph, which is basically, I guess the best way to describe it is the closest thing to a Printing United Alliance for the Latin community, so Central, South America, and Caribbean.
Great, very cool. So, obviously this year we at Printing United Expo, we have a Latin American Pavilion, which I do want to get into, but can you just kind of give an overview of what the Latin American community can expect at this year's Expo?
Yeah, well, the Latin community is very excited about going to a show in person. I mean, they've had lots of virtual shows, and in Latin America, there's a lot of regional type shows, and they're also very specific. So they may be specific to large format or specific to apparel or commercial print. They're super excited about coming to one place where all of those technologies are under one roof, and also in person. The Latin community is very personal. They like to talk with folks. They like to interact. And they're also looking forward to networking again with some folks that they haven't seen for a couple of years. So Printing United Expo brings that all under one roof, and they're very excited about coming. The feedback I've gotten has been great.
Great. And so you mentioned there are, smaller, more regional shows that have happened. Has there been anything of this magnitude, of this size for the Latin American community?
No, their shows tend to be smaller, and they're usually within wherever it's hosted, it's for that country. So you don't get a lot of folks, like, let's say, for example, if there's a show in Mexico, people from Argentina aren't going to that show. Mostly just people from Mexico go to that show. This is an opportunity for basically all of Latin America to come to one place and see all the technologies. So that it's very unique. There's nothing like this in Latin America.
Great. That's very exciting. Very exciting. So you mentioned, some excitement around the networking and that kind of aspect of the show. So I know there's a Latin American Pavilion. So can you tell me about that?
Yeah. So the Latin American Pavilion is an area that's been designated on the show floor with several exhibitors that are either dealers or distributors or OEMs that have a presence in Latin America. And it's going to be a gathering point for networking, for folks to get together from the community and talk and catch up, meet with some of these vendors that are in that area. And also it's going to be kind of a place where we're going to have Spanish guided tours throughout, that we're going to leave from that place and then go to see some of the OEMs and do some tours, related to the new technologies and the different things.
Great. So it sounds like it's going to be really accessible for everyone.
Yeah, it's open to everyone, and what's nice about it again is there's like here in the U.S. a lot of printers are diversifying and looking for different things, different lanes of the printing industry to try and grow, and these guided tours. There's going to be guided tours about digital label, flexible packaging, wide format, promotional products. So all of these guided tours may introduce some of these, let's say, commercial printers to some of these new technologies, which are really growing now. And so it's a great opportunity for them to, in their native language, to hear about these technologies and the success stories and the new equipment and the new stuff that's out there.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. So, to me, that sounds like, that's kind of an educational opportunity right there, to be able to have these different segmented tours in their own language. Are there other educational opportunities that are happening within the pavilion or for that community?
Yeah, so Conlatograph is the main sponsor, and Conlatograph is the kind of the national association for South America, Central America, and parts of the Caribbean. So they offer lots of different curriculums and different programs for learning, and so they're going to be present, and they're going to be talking about their association and their partnership with Printing United. So it's an opportunity for them to connect and learn about some of those programs. They also have a national awards program, so they'll be talking about that. And basically, they'll be on the tours as well, so helping answer questions and also bringing some of the information that they learned back to the countries for some of the folks that couldn't attend the show.
Wonderful. That's really great to hear. So is there anything else that you would want to share with the Latin American community considering coming to Printing United Expo, or those who are already going to be there?
Well, I encourage everyone to come because, like I mentioned, it is Printing United Expo has been called the Drupa of the Americas by the Latins, which is a big statement, and they love it because they get to, like I mentioned, they get to see everything under one roof. And so rather than waiting for this show to happen this month and then another show related to another lane of printing another month or the next quarter, they can see everything under one roof and really and help make decisions. A lot of the OEMs are going to be there, which in Latin America, most of the equipment and different things is put out there through distributor channels, and so it's great for them to see the actual manufacturers displaying their latest and greatest equipment. So I know it's going to be a phenomenal event, and I encourage everyone from Latin America, Central America, and Caribbean to come. It's going to be an awesome event.
Totally agreed. And that's one of the biggest things we've been talking about is the opportunity. So many companies are expanding into other segments, and so being able to see everything under one roof is just so important. Not having to go to multiple shows to see different equipment and talk to different exhibitors is really cool.
And it's in Vegas.
Yes. What could be better?
Exactly.
Yes. Well, thank you, Gabe, so much for joining me on today's episode, and can't wait to see you at the show.
Likewise. Thanks, Ash.
Yeah. For those interested in attending, I will include a link to the website, which is printingunited.com, in the show notes, where you can find out more and register. I want to thank Gabe for joining me on this episode, and thank you to all of you, our listeners. Stay tuned for the next episode of Impressions Xchange podcast.